Mm. How did you end up hooking up with Max?
So that was a Tony Khan thing. Max is a student at Creative Pro Wrestling Academy in Long Island. I was in Jersey. We crossed paths a couple times. I used to go out there to train. I think we might have wrestled each other once or twice in like a big scramble match. But I had just accepted an offer from NXT, and then Tony found out and flew me down to Jacksonville to meet with him. And as I was going to the arena, I ran into Castor, who happened to be in a similar boat, and we had no idea we were there to go talk to Tony together. We walked in, and Tony pretty much laid out like, "Hey, I like you two. I want to bring you both in, put you both together, and call you a tag team, the Acclaimed." And I'm like, "Great! Like, I don't know what that is, but that sounds amazing." And we went out. We had a tag match against best friends, Trent and Chuck, and we had a great match. And next thing you know, we were offered the contracts, and we were off and running.
Yeah, talk a little bit about the chemistry that you two have together, because that thing, like you said, I mean, you guys just kind of get hooked up together. But I guess, how soon did you know you guys kind of had that chemistry? And then obviously the whole Scissor Me Daddy, all that stuff is just completely taking a life of its own, which is very awesome to see. But yeah, kind of describe just sort of the journey that you guys have had together at this point.
I think a lot of it was getting to know each other early on. Like, we knew there was something there, and we also established like, hey, as opposed to being tag partners, we got to get to know each other on a personal level. So we spent a lot of time talking with each other, figuring out, where our head is at in terms of how we approach the business, how we approach matches. And the more we did that, and the more we kept having matches together, the more we realized that we were just, I guess, meant to tag together. We had great chemistry. We had great banter. I was trying to figure out what my end of the Acclaimed was, because my only piece of advice came from Cody, which was, hey, you're the hype man. Whatever Castor says in this rap is the craziest, best diss you've ever heard in your entire life. But I knew there had to be more layers to that. So my journey ended up pretty much coming to when the whole scissoring stuff started coming around, and I really felt comfortable within the Acclaimed. Castor was doing his thing every single week, and I think once we started putting all the pieces together, which included me finding myself as a on-screen personality, bringing Billy in, combining that with how charismatic Castor is and how controversial Castor is, putting that all together into one big package, it just ended up being magic.
Kind of speaking to his sort of the controversial side of Max a little bit with some of his raps, and his raps are always super clever. Some of them, obviously can rub some people the wrong way because he's dissing people at it, but it's kind of obviously it's part of his character too. But has there ever been like a rap that you guys have either shot down that you could share with us, or any ones that he actually did that you, maybe in the time the reaction wasn't maybe what you guys wanted or expected?
There are times where especially back, the creative process has changed a lot with how we go about things. In the beginning, we would do a lot of sitting down and seeing what was out there in terms of what's in the news, what could we touch on. There have been a lot of times it was like, no, we can't say that. A lot of times now, I'll, whatever I see throughout the day or throughout the week, I might give to him, and then he goes off into his own creative process. I won't see him for an hour or two, and he'll come back and he'll go, I'm ready for it, and we'll go out there and we'll do it. Sometimes I like to know, sometimes I don't like to know, because I want my reactions to be authentic, just like the people in the ring, because we don't tell them, we never have, because we want them to be just as in shock as everybody else. So it's always fun seeing people's reactions and then trying to not get beat up when they get angry.
Yeah, has it ever gotten heat with anybody that, like, or have his raps ever gotten heat with anybody in the ring that kind of didn't know it was coming, or is it pretty open, and are they pretty accepting and kind of understand that anything's kind of fair game?
Well, the most infamous one was the one with Moxley, where Castor brought up Renee in the Oral Sessions podcast. Just a little bit worded a little bit differently. And I remember getting in the ring, and before I used to yell the city, I would yell AEW, and I yelled, I think I got A out, and Moxie was just like a bus just obliterated me, and out I went. I had no idea that was coming. I just remember screaming, and the next thing you know, I was on the floor. So I don't think he liked that line too